Hi folks, we're at LR Workshop. This weekend I've got an epic 700-mile road trip, which I wish I wasn't doing. But anyway, here's 4 reasons why having a Defender makes this the ideal vehicle for the job. Okay, so number 1 is the fact that I can fill up my tank and do the entire journey over 300 miles on a single tank. The reason why that's good is it means I can start my journey with cheap supermarket fuel, and when I get to the other end, I can fill up my tank again with cheap supermarket fuel for the return journey. I don't have to find myself in a situation where I'm on the motorway and I'm running out of fuel and I need to either find a service station or use some of the horrendously expensive fuel. Reason number 2 is that we're in the peak of the appalling winter weather in the UK at the moment, and I know that no matter what the winter throws at us, whether it's horrendous wind, rain, flooding or snow, I know that the Defender is going to be able to get me to the end of my journey. Reason number 3 is that when I get to the other end, I'm going to have to do a load of shuttling of stuff, basically emptying my garage and put it into storage, and the Defender has got quite enough room to be able to achieve that. In a modern car you'd be doing probably 2 or 3 times as many journeys. The Defender, I can get a load of journeys in there, and I know that I can complete my task for the weekend. And the 4th reason is, that maybe slightly controversial, doing an epic journey that when I'm travelling the length of England in a single evening, is that having an older vehicle, you will sit probably about 65 miles an hour on the motorway, which basically means that everyone else overtakes you. And that's good because you just sit in your lane and it's a lot easier, a lot more relaxing on the journey. You just sit in your lane, overtake a lorry, come back, overtake a lorry, come back. That's all you have to worry about. And why I'm clearing things out is because essentially our tenants have run away and they're not going to pay the rent, so I've got to go and sort the house out, and I've decided to clear the garage out because, as some of you said, it was a mistake leaving stuff in the garage. I recognise that it's better if we clear the garage out and rent the house with the garage, but I don't think it was a mistake at the time because I had to start a new job, finish an old job, rent out the house, do all the work to get it ready, and find a new house, and then actually give birth to my 2nd child. Well, I didn't, but you get the point. But anyway, it's a good time now to clear the garage out, as well as dealing with the mess they've left. Anyway, it's Friday afternoon. Let's hope I'm going to miss some of the traffic. I'll give you an update en route. We're in one of the UK's beautiful 50-mile-an-hour zones on the motorway. I don't mind them, to be honest, because it's quite a quiet, comforting, easy journey, just trundling along. Particularly when you're crossing the country, you're going to come across them at some point, roadworks at some point, so you just deal with it. Don't know if you can see over there in the distance, that is a Royal Mail train. That was an actual Royal Mail train. I did not think they did Royal Mail trains anymore. There's the windsock. It's a romantic Valentine. It's hard to stay above 60 in this wind. That's the sound of the windscreen wiper hitting the window frame. Coming off for a bit of light relief. It's the time when you leave the coffee on the wing. Oh, I love this part of the M6. There's just so much, it's just felt like it's full of life. There's so much going on here. You just go past road signs of everywhere you've heard about in your childhood but never been. Blackburn, Bolton, Burnley, Bury, Southport, Stockport, Rochdale, Warrington, St Helens, Wigan, Liverpool, Manchester. Been to Manchester. Not been to Liverpool. I need to go sometime. Don't worry about the flickering light. Man, this thing is... it's an LED thing, cheap thing on eBay. I fitted it about 10 years ago, but... looks bright, but I can get it brighter. See that? It's really dodgy. Anyway, it's like daylight. No, it's not. It's really like the weather coming through Cumbria was utterly unreal. It was just completely unreal. I mean, I think that's the windiest I've ever been in a Defender. In 1 minute you're driving 65 and then all of a sudden you're at 55 and you're mashing your foot in the throttle and you don't know why you slow down, but it's the wind. My the wind's coming from the right, my right hand side, my right arm's just cold constantly. There's water, there's just water, there's wind ramming through the window all the time, and you're just steering. You're constantly putting right hand steering on to counteract the wind, and then all of a sudden it changes direction. You end up like almost going in the middle lane. It's crazy. And then after that Cumbrian weather, we're down in Lancashire, where the sun pretty much would be shining if it was daytime. It's really dry, but then you got your own problems. Then you've got all the crud that comes up on the motorway this time of year and just gets on the windscreen, and it kind of dries on there. So you need to be washing it with the washers, but the washers on a Defender are just awful. But I found a new technique, which actually I've genuinely come up with on this journey. Basically, you put the washers on, they're either going to go all over the driver's side or all over the passenger side when you're driving at high speed and it's windy, which is a real pain, because then you've got a load of water on one side and you can't stop the wipers. They're going 3 wipes and they're just scraping really dry crud over your vision, and you can't really see much. Wait till you overtake a lorry, and I think this will work for no matter what country you're in, as long as you overtake on the passenger side or the driver's side of the other vehicle. When you go past lorries and you get that bow wave of wind, put your washers on at the exact moment that you overtake the lorry and go through its bow wave. It will blow all of the water over the driver's side. I've done it a few times now. It's really effective. I'm very pleased with that. So that's my top tip for this journey. Coming up on Warrington, you can always tell someone that comes from Warrington, because you're never quite sure whether their accent's from Manchester or from Liverpool. It kind of depends on which sentence they say. There's also this part of the motorway, the M6. If there's a motorway you've never heard of, it's probably in this part of the world. Right, so where am I going? A5? No, M6. Okay, right-hand lane. Cannot go there at the moment. Echo. Northwich, Knutsford, Stoke-on-Trent, Stafford. Knutsford services. We're coming into this part of the M6 where it's just littered with service stations, which, if you've got kids, is absolutely brilliant. There's like every 10 miles there's services around here. And they've all got bridges, because in the 60s everyone thought you'd want to sit in the services, eat your dinner and watch all the traffic go by. How utterly wonderful that would be, they thought. This part of the M6 is also known as the UK's largest car park. Very frequently this has problems. Another services there. I never know if it's Sandbach or Sandbach. Anyone tell me how you're supposed to pronounce it? Well, to toll road or not to toll road, that is the toll road. I think on this occasion I'm not going to. I usually do it. I mean, it's only £6 for 19 miles of utter bliss. When you're spending 150 quid on fuel on a massive journey, an extra £6's not a big deal. But the problem with a Defender is if you go in the automated one, they'll detect you as a van and you end up paying 11 quid. So sometimes I go in the manned booth sometimes, and sometimes they'll put you in this car and sometimes they'll put you in a van. It's a bit hit and miss. I think at this time, generally at night time I'll go the M6 normal route, as there's never normally that much traffic. Welcome to Birmingham, where there's a higher density of shopping trolleys in canals than there is in Venice. Bet you didn't know that. Birmingham, also home of Spaghetti Junction, also known as the Gravelly Hill Interchange. Always love a lane closure. Those late night roadworks, and it gets even better. I've gone for a 2-stop strategy, just like in Formula 1. Anyway, happy Valentine's Day. It's not the saddest story I've ever had in a service station. There was nothing sadder than a childless couple eating a tepid curry in a service station at 11 PM on Christmas Eve. Although now I've got kids, half an hour with Jen in a service station on Christmas Eve eating a tepid curry is the best kind of date that I can hope for.
Good morning. Last night was interesting. Turns out the tenants changed the locks, which is great. So I decided to sleep in the Land Rover. I'm going to add a fifth point to my list. Fifth good reason why it's good to have a Defender is that anywhere you drive, you've got accommodation. Yay. And apparently there's a storm today. It begins with D. Right, so I've got to get all this stuff moved and in the roof.
Well, I'm on trip 3. Just got the shelves. Got to take everything off the shelves, cart everything that was in the shelves, and then cart the shelves. Put the shelves up, put everything that was in the shelves back on the shelves, and then you can do everything else. Simple, really.
Doctor, the patient is ready for you now.
Well, that is the end of that saga. It's now Sunday and I've mostly cleared out the garage. And now I'm going to do the repeat journey across the country again. It's not Valentine's Day anymore, so I don't think there's going to be much love on this journey. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.